You're the guy that didn't do math.
Yeah.
Oh, coach is right there.
Hi, I'm Scott. I'm not sure what the other
I'm Tyler.
Yeah. Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Come on in, guys.
Okay, so we're now here with the 2013-2014 men's basketball, Clark College men's basketball representatives, and we have the coach and 3 student athletes. And the media will open up for questions. First, we'd like to have the coach introduce yourself, a little bit about yourself, and then student athletes introduce yourselves and where you're from, and then we'll go right into the question.
Okay, Alex Kirk, second year here at Clark. Been in the Northwest about 5 years. Lucky enough to play for Dick and Tony Bennett at Washington State. Coached at the University of Portland. Was there about 3.5 years, 4 years. Came on board here last year. And I think last year for us was definitely challenging in a lot of ways. Trying to establish a new culture, a new way of doing things is always tough. And with a year to recruit, a year to gain some continuity with our staff, sort of understand the landscape quite a bit better, as well as the level that we're at. Very excited. And I think we've got hopefully a playoff caliber team, you know, with the addition of guys that you see here to my left.
Max Livingston. I went to Lake Oswego High School, graduated in 2011. Redshirted my freshman year at Hawaii Pacific University. Played last year, and then I've known Coach Kirk for a long time, and just talking to him, it seemed like the right fit to come here to Clark. So made that decision, and really excited about this upcoming year.
I am Paul Golden. I came here from La Jolla Prep in San Diego, California. I spoke to Coach Kirk from prep school, and I recruited to come here, and you know, I liked Clark, the school, campus, the people, and you know, Coach Kirk as a coach, and I felt like this would be a great opportunity for me. And I was a redshirt freshman here last year, and I came back because of Coach Kirk and the atmosphere here at Clark.
Josh Hall. I'm from Hawkinson. I graduated from Hawkinson High School in 2011. I went to a prep school in Wisconsin for a year, and then I was at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo last year and redshirted. And I've known Coach Kirk since high school, and really like what he has going on here, so I'm excited to be a part of it.
Coach Kirk, how many people do you return from last year's team?
Three. I believe the number's 3. Yeah.
Thank you.
Who are those, just so?
Sean Price.
Okay.
And Paul was around the program last year as well, and then Ronald's. I'll spell out the last name for you. So it's Ronald with an S, and last name Elksnis, Elksnis. All the way
Yes,
from
I remember
Latvia.
that one. Yes.
So you're mixing in a lot of newer guys with those guys. You know, what's the first couple weeks have been like? What's the experience been like for you guys to start get going?
It's been exciting. There's been a lot of changes over the past couple of weeks. We've dealt with a lot of adversity, but you know, we're coming together, and we're really excited about this year and what we can do together. I think we got all the talent in the world, and we're just starting to build our chemistry. And when we play together, we're going to be able to do a lot.
I think anytime you bring in a lot of new guys, which is kind of the nature of the beast at this level, the beginning is always an adjustment. You know, learning a new style, becoming familiar with not only each other but the coaching staff and the way we're trying to do things is difficult. You know, and I think these guys have adjusted well to it. We're asking them to do different things. We're asking them to accept different roles. I think the overall unselfishness that I've seen is what has me most excited. You know, we've got guys who are talented, but at the same time are saying, I want to win. And I'm willing to sacrifice individually for the betterment of the team. I think that's probably why I'm most optimistic about this year.
Coach, after being in the league for a year, is there any major thing that you have changed about what you're going to do on the court?
Absolutely, yeah. I think in any job, your first year is a learning experience, and at times last year I kind of had to put my tail between my legs and say, we didn't get it done. Not easy, but I think necessary. Coming back this year, I think with the talent that we've got, we're trying to just free them up to play and not have them thinking out there, not trying to make them robotic in the sense of, I throw the ball there, I've got to go screen there, but just teach them how to play. Teach them how the game of basketball is played, and just get them to play together, unselfishly, and really hard. And I think if you can do those things at this level, you're going to be pretty successful.
Paul, you played high school basketball with Ronalds at Loyola, is that
Yes,
correct?
that's
Yeah.
correct.
Did talk about the familiarity with him to make the transition a little bit easier?
Yeah, it's definitely made it a whole lot easier, having someone out here with me. Last year and this year, we were roommates at prep school, so, we got to be real close, and, it's real good.
Where are you from originally, Paul?
Wagner, Oklahoma.
What's the biggest adjustment as the players to this particular level? I mean, you guys have all played prep school, you got a little college experience. What's the biggest adjustment to the level that you're seeing here at Clark?
It's the intensity of the college game, and it's, in prep school and high school and things like that, you might be faster than everybody or quicker, and when you move up to the college level, it's even in those areas, guys are bigger, stronger, faster, so you have to find your niche, and try to figure out what you do well, and just put it together with the rest of the team, and play your role and all together.
I think with that question, it's you got a guy in Paul who's at this point only played in games at the high school level. On the flip side here, Josh didn't play last year at Cal Poly, but he's been a part of a Division I program for a year. So his experience, coming in is probably going to be a lot different than Paul's. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you got a guy in Max who's been out of high school now. This is going on his third year with a redshirt year at a Division II program under his belt, and a guy who started for his team at the Division II level last year. So maybe Max, you can talk about sort of the transition to this level, because it's probably uniquely different from the other two.
Sure.
Yeah, coming out of high school, I learned right away when I got to Hawaii Pacific University that I was going to need a lot more mental toughness. Yeah, physicality is a big part of it. The game's a lot faster, and guys are a lot bigger and a lot stronger. But just being able to go through a whole season practicing every day, playing in games, you got to be mentally tough and able to go through that grind, because a lot of guys can't handle that. And as the season goes on, guys are going to start realizing that their bodies are tired, and that sometimes they're just not going to want to show up. But if they don't have that mental toughness, they're not going to be able to do it. And it was something I struggled with my redshirt freshman year, and I just learned from a lot of the guys, that you got to be tough, and it helps to have older guys that can help you out and support you.
Not having really played yet in college, it's just from what I've seen playing in our two scrimmages is how good kids are at this level. I don't know. Growing up for me, it was always JC guys, where guys just want to come play out of high school, but that's not the case. There's a lot of good players, so I think that was exciting thing for me to know that it's a challenging level. So if that answers your question.
You guys have a team goal this year as a group?
To win the championship.
Yeah, we're our championship.
If somebody was to come out and watch you guys play and walked away, what would be the 3 characteristics they'd walk away after watching you guys play that represent your team?
We want them to know that we're intense, come with an intensity, that we encourage each other, we're positive, and then I think toughness is a thing that we need, that we want to have.
I agree with Max on that.
How would you describe recruiting this past offseason?
I thought it went well. Yeah, you know, anytime you can add some seasoned veterans, if you will, at the junior college level, I think that is a huge boost for your program. You know, having a guy that's been a part of a Division I program is a really big deal. You know, having a guy like Max who's started at the Division II level, has a full season plus a redshirt year under his belt. I mean, those, not only the physical play, but the intangible qualities that go along with bringing guys like that in the program are really, really important. You know, we return a guy like Sean Price, who statistically was a huge part of our team last year with a year under his belt to grow and learn and get better in the off season. We signed a kid from Jesuit High School originally, Colin Spickerman, who played at Alaska Anchorage last year. You know, he's going to be a handful, I think. He's like these guys. He's a hard-working, blue-collar guy. There's not a lot of peaks and valleys with him. He's just a guy that shows up every day with a hard hat and does his job. So I think, you know, those would be kind of the cornerstones of the recruiting class in terms of having guys who have been at the 4-year level. You know, we got some talented high school kids as well. So I thought it went really well.
What should we look for in the first few minutes? What are we looking for to see if you're going to be successful in those first few minutes on Saturday night when you open up?
I'm smiling because hopefully it's a little different than the first 3 minutes than our last scrimmage.
Yeah.
We've been on both ends of the spectrum so far. We had our first scrimmage about 3 weeks ago, and you know, we won by 30 plus. And then we had a scrimmage the other night with a maybe 2.5, 3 week break, and we lost by about 30. So, you know, I've been taught along the way that you're typically somewhere in the middle. When you win, it's not as good as you think, and when you lose, it's not as bad as you think, and I think that's probably a fair assessment of where we're at right now. We really got punched in the mouth pretty good, was my assessment, at the beginning of our last scrimmage. And, you know, from my end, I hope it's night and day from what it was just on Tuesday. I don't know what they feel.
I'll just add, I would agree with what Coach was saying, but I think we're a team that it's going to be hard to see and predict what's going to happen in the first few minutes, which I know is the case, but just because we changed so much, but there's so much more building we're still doing, and I guess to really look at, you know, seeing when you see our intensity and how hard we work, is what's really going to take us a long ways, and the rest of the stuff, you know, I think will fall in place for us because we have those experienced guys and we have those start getting those games under our belt.
What are some areas you think you guys needed to shore up on in terms of some deficiencies that you've noticed in the 2 scrimmages?
Just showing up every day ready to go. Our last scrimmage, we weren't ready. So we just have to make sure that everybody shows up ready to play.
I think we're fighting human nature a little bit. You know, you win by 30, and for a lot of these guys, it was their first ever college experience. And even a guy like Josh hasn't played in a game at the college level. So you win by 30 and you sort of pat each other on the back and, you know, puff your chest out and you feel pretty good. You know, as a staff, we're trying to, you know, let them know, hey, it's going to get tougher. The road is not going to be like this. And sometimes you got to get punched in the mouth in order to realize that.
Guys, there's a question for you guys. You talk about those challenges of playing at the higher level of college, college ball, and then, the lower level of getting those opportunities. How does that make you guys, you know, does it change the way that you guys perceive the game? Do you still love the game? Does it make you want to work harder at the game? Just, you know, how does this, you know, the opportunities that you're getting here at Clark College going to help you in terms of, you know, where you want to go in this game of basketball?
It's definitely, you know, a challenge, and it
Yeah.
makes you want to go back and reevaluate things and say, well, you know, I maybe thought I was working this hard, but I need to work even harder to, you know, to step up and, you know.
I think I even go along with what Paul is saying, you know, just having the opportunity to actually get to play
Yeah.
is going to be a huge thing for me, and kind of bring that enjoyment of the game back. Not that I didn't really lose it, it's just
Yeah.
playing the games is where the fun part is. And so being able to do that is kind of, you know, rejuvenating and exciting just even thinking about it. So that's what I'm excited about.
Sales pitch for me with a lot of these guys was sort of a redemption song, if you will. You know, you got a guy in Josh who went to Cal Poly and now has an opportunity to play in front of family and friends again in his own backyard and sort of prove to the world the work that he's done over the past year and a half to be where he is today. You know, similar story with Colin Spickerman. Colin goes up to Alaska, you know, has a good year, doesn't work out. You know, now same thing. He's back in his own backyard, a year of Division II experience under his belt. You know, he's here with something to prove. I think, maybe not speaking for Max, but I think there's a similar sort of fire burning inside of him of, I've been doing all these things away from home, underneath the radar. Now I'm ready to come out and sort of prove to everybody how hard I've been working.
So a lot of these kids have a lot of that fire, and, you know.
That's my assessment.
Maybe 3 more questions for the student athletes or the coach, and then we'll conclude the men's basketball press conference.
I guess I'm not sure who, but I guess you guys feel like you have, you're respected by the other schools. I mean, you talk about championship expectations. You think other people are expecting that out of you? Or
I have no idea really. I don't know anything about the league, but probably not. I don't know.
Yeah, probably not.
We're a completely new team.
Yeah, me being here last year, redshirting, you know, I can probably say that not a lot of people expect, you know, a lot from us, just the way the season was last year and how it went last year. But, you know, this year is a completely different year. You know, the culture is changing, and it's just not going to be the same. It's going to be different. We're going up right now.
I don't know. But I'm sure they've seen maybe who we've got coming in, you know, a lot of different new guys, but
So they're ready to take the next step.
yeah, we're excited about it. Hands are sweating thinking about it.
Just quickly, what's your academic, what are your academic majors, the 3 of you? What are you studying?
My major at Hawaii Pacific University was business. I'm undeclared now.
Okay.
Yeah, mine's right now is arts, and I'm looking to maybe switch to science.
I was doing engineering at Cal Poly, but right now I'm kind of undeclared, but looking to go into business.
Okay.
To brag a little bit about these guys, and if anybody watches this from a maybe Ivy or Patriot League school, for Max specifically, he's 3.8 GPA here, you know, got a ton of transferable credits to his name. You know, these are all 3 young men that I think are going to be very successful in life. I joked with the team the other day, they kind of took it, I think, wrong. I was trying to give them a compliment, but they took it weird. I said, Max could be like a 28-year-old with a wife, you know, living in Tacoma, getting up every day and doing his job like a grown man. And they all kind of shook their head. And what I was trying to say is he's an adult. He's mature. You know, with these 3 guys and with a good bulk of our team, I don't have to deal with, hey, go to class, you know, make sure you're doing your homework, show up to practice on time. I mean, these are guys that just get it. They're adults. And that's not to say we don't have, you know, some youthfulness that we're trying to coach along the way, but we've got some guys up here that are pretty good to model themselves after. Josh is at Cal Poly, and he's sort of downplaying that scenario. I mean, he's in the engineering program there at one of the best engineering schools in the entire country. So these are 3 guys that I think get it, big picture, and just for me, have been really fun to be around, not only as players, but as students, and as guys growing into adulthood.
My question, will we beat the 3.17 GPA from last year's men's basketball team?
That's a tough goal. Over a 3.0 GPA with a men's hoops team is pretty good. We got there when I was at Portland a couple of quarters and had to work really hard to get there. Last year, our guys did what they were supposed to do, and with the support of the athletic department, our study hall programs, we're hoping, but we certainly got some work to do still there to get there.
Yeah, it's up to us.
All right, one more good question for the student athletes, and we'll conclude.
We have 6 sophomores on the team, but only 3 are returning players. So how do you feel about the team's leadership and experience?
I think it's great. I mean, we got guys like Josh and Max, they're great leaders, and from the perspective I've got from them this year, they're some of the best leaders I've ever been around, as far as being on the team. So
We had 1 sophomore last year, so we're going in the right direction.
So as long as you keep feeding them the ball, then they're doing a good job for you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that concludes this session, and we appreciate the student athletes and the coach taking time. Some of our student athletes are in class, so we put class before any event, so some of the returners weren't unable to attend, and so I just wanted to let the media know that as well. But we appreciate the student athletes for coming out and the coach, and they'll be available in the hallway for some questions, and there's food here for the media as well.
Thanks, guys.
gentlemen.
Thank you.
What time do you guys